You know, with their uniforms on, we were down here Saturday in scrimmage, but it was different. But I think as you look around, you can see the stadium's so different, and it was different a year ago, but even more so this year. Fred Glass and his staff have done a tremendous job of continuing to make this stadium something that the game day experience is really going to be exciting. Not only the paint and the walls, but the new scoreboard and replay board and all that. New uniforms, so I think there's a new attitude, and you know, I think there's a buzz out there that our players are certainly picking up on. It takes a lot of work, you know. There's no magic to it. I mean, there's been a lot of people that worked very, very hard, and you know, certainly, you know, you mentioned Fred, but it goes all the way to President McRobbie and throughout the university. And I think, you know, you really sense a commitment to football, and it's not only shown up with our team, but it's shown up in recruiting as we've had visitors come through here, particularly those that never, you know, there's two groups. There's the group that's never been here before, and they find out it's different than what they had heard, and the group that you know, haven't been here in 10 years and come back, and they can. There's a wow factor, and it's exciting for us. But you know, now it's our job to put together a team and get it done on the field. And, you know, well, you know, I think this group has done a really good job of taking care of what they can control, and we spent a lot of time, you know, talking about that. For us, it's the process, and the outcome will take care of itself. And I think our guys have picked up on that. That we've got to tune out, you know, what's being said on the outside and do our work here. And you know, you mentioned, you know, or alluded to Ben Chappell, our quarterback. I think he's an excellent example of it. He's truly become the leader of this football team, and he does it, you know, with his actions. He's played very well on the field. He's a hard-working guy as we have. He's taking care of business in the classroom, already graduated from Kelly School of Business. I mean, he's everything we're looking for. And when you have that kind of example, I think that goes a long way to the other guys following it. So there's high expectations that we have here within this group, and you know, that's why we're in the middle of the dog days, you know, and the grind of camp, so that we're ready to play once we get to September. It's the personnel that we have. You know, we had some guys that played a lot of football here, and you know, sometimes when guys leave, it gives you a new opportunity to do some different things, because there's you know, it just kind of fit what we have now. A perfect example is Darius Johnson. He is an outstanding football player, and really his season got cut short a year ago by got his collarbone broken before our Michigan game, so really he missed the whole Big Ten season, or he would have played a lot, and we knew that. But he's a different kind of defensive end from Jamie Curlow, let's say, and he's better playing up. So all of a sudden you put him up, and all of a sudden it looks like a 3-4 defense. There's a lot of similarities between the 4-3 and the 4, the way we're doing it. But it fit him. Kevin Bush is kind of a great story that is in the mix. I think we have more traditional inside linebackers, which bigger guys that I think fit a 3-4. And I think we can do more things in terms of our blitzes and our coverages, and make it a defense be a little bit tougher to play against. Fourth-year juniors and third-year sophomores. So it goes all the way down the line. And I mentioned to our guys, you know, there's a couple redshirt freshmen that are practicing now. They're completely different kids than when they came on campus a year ago at this time. Teddy Bolzer, you know, to throw out an example, I asked him this morning, weighs 252 pounds. I mean, he's a threat as a tight end, and he's big enough to play in the Big Ten. A year ago when he reported, he weighed about 212, and he played wide receiver in high school. You know, so we've got a handful of guys like that that he's mature enough and ready to play. So if you can have enough of those redshirt freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, I think physically that gives us a better chance in the Big Ten. And I think our guys have bought into it. I think it's held up academically. And we're sold that it's the right way. Now, if a kid's good enough, we're going to play him. Adam Replogle, you know, was kind of one of those guys that came in, and he was ready to play and started, you know, essentially all 12 games last year. So, and we've got some really good freshmen in this group, but it'd be hard for me to sit here today and say, I think this kid's going to play or that kid, because I think we have enough older guys that are pretty good football players that it would probably take an injury here or there for a freshman to play. I know it's a theme, and you know, everybody has them, but our theme throughout the off season, and we break down every day when practice over to finish. And it's on the back of their T-shirts, and it's in the locker room, and we've got to learn to finish. And finishing is, you know, we talked about that in the winter, and 6 o'clock in the morning in Mellencamp, that we're going to finish every drill and every rep and every workout. And I know they carried that through the spring practice, the summer. We're doing it now, and I think it's a mindset that when you get in the fourth quarter, and the key things last year, there were 3 games where we had the lead in the fourth quarter and let it get away, and then a couple other that, you know, we had a chance in the fourth quarter, and we just didn't make the plays. And as we've told our guys over and over, it's not a matter of we weren't good enough. We didn't execute those plays in key situations. So we're certainly concentrating that on, you know, in camp. But I think it's a mindset that we really tried to. I think if you go in there and talk to those guys, we didn't recruit them with, hey, you're going to be starting here, you're going to be starting there in the fall. You know, told them all the same for the last 3 years. I want you to come in to compete, to play. And if you're ready to play, you'll play. But you got to play a lot. And playing a lot to me is, you know, being a starter. If you're not ready to be a starter and ready to play, we're not going to waste your year. And so that's where we're going to redshirt them. So, you know, it's easy when you've told them that, and that's been your story in recruiting. So I think it's held up. You know, our goal is to play in a bowl game, and then again, I use the same term. We don't want to put limitations on what bowl game that is, but you know, that's a long way off. We really do work pretty hard here at, you know, working at, you know, one game at a time, and one practice at a time, one rep at a time, and you know, I say it's process driven rather than the outcome will take care of itself. I think we have that kind of football team. I think they bought into it. So it's not that we don't, in meetings during camp, we don't constantly talk about we've got to go to a bowl game, we got to go to a bowl game. We talk about how practice went today and what we're going to do tomorrow. And you know, with the idea, if we do what we're supposed to do and do it well, then it'll take care of itself.